Mr. Speaker, I can understand why they want to ask questions to us because they don't want to answer ours, and I don't blame them. The member from Nipisiguit talks about their government creating jobs, Mr. Speaker. We have just found out that in April our province has lost 3,200 jobs, Mr. Speaker. In 2011, we had 353,200 jobs. Today, we have 348,000, Mr. Speaker. From March to April, we went from a 10.5% unemployment rate, which is very high, to a 10.9% unemployment rate right now. 2012 to 2013, our population diminished, Mr. Speaker. We have less people in the province. We are the only province in Canada to see our population go down. Will the Premier admit that they aren't able to grow the economy, they aren't able to create an environment where jobs can be created, and they cannot tackle unemployment, Mr. Speaker?
Honourable the Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And on this side of the House, we are concerned about the numbers of people working in New Brunswick today, just as we were concerned in 2011 and 2010, Mr. Speaker. And I can tell you on this side of the House, we will not rest until every New Brunswicker has an opportunity to be working here in New Brunswick, Mr. Speaker. You know, and Mr. Speaker, I find it a little bit ironic today from the Leader of the Opposition. You know, the very reason that we announced the blueprint document yesterday, Mr. Speaker, is so that we can demonstrate a path forward in a responsible way to develop our natural gas industry, Mr. Speaker. That's why we are working overtime to see a pipeline come from Alberta to New Brunswick. That's why we are working to see mining in New Brunswick move forward with responsible development in the forestry sector, Mr. Speaker. That's why we've come forward as well with a new strategy focusing on industries that have an opportunity to grow, Mr. Speaker. And we will
Mr. Speaker, obviously, a lot of these projects, some of them we support, some of them we have some real preoccupations and concerns, but many of them are years down the road. And in fact, one of them that was mentioned, Mr. Speaker, even the economic viability isn't necessarily there, Mr. Speaker. We need to diversify our investments. We agree with the government that innovation should play a big role, but on that, we have to make sure that we invest properly in education and training and keeping National Research Council jobs here in the province so we can have research, development, and innovation fostered here in the province, Mr. Speaker. This government keeps talking, whether it be federal-provincial relations, whether it be about the economy, whether it be about anything, Mr. Speaker. They talk about, well, we're looking at it, we're getting information, we're doing this, we're planning, we have commissions, we have reports and studies. Mr. Speaker, the New Brunswickers that I talk to want to see results. So I asked the Premier, when will we start to see results? When will we start to see unemployment go down, job creation go up? And when will we see our New Brunswickers be able to stay in the province, Mr. Speaker?
Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I would encourage the member opposite to work with us on results, and that's why we've come forward with the one-job pledge, Mr. Speaker, and we've seen, Mr. Speaker, and we've seen more than 200 young people, recent graduates, hired by small and medium-sized businesses in New Brunswick so they can stay here, build their life here in New Brunswick, Mr. Speaker. That's why very recently we came forward with the first export strategy in some 25 years. That's why last week, Mr. Speaker, we came forward with changes to current programming for businesses to allow them to expand in New Brunswick and to reduce the amount of red tape that it takes to move projects forward, Mr. Speaker. Those are real changes that we're bringing forward that will make a real difference. But there's no silver bullet. And Mr. Speaker, I go back to the Leader of the Opposition. When he came into his position, he said there were no silver bullets. He knew that it would take time, Mr. Speaker.